Hi, welcome to MAVV Radio. My name is Justin, or otherwise known as Icebox on the internet. I will be your host today, along with my two co-hosts, Gail Fox, or
It's me.
otherwise known as Tori, and Lex, and otherwise known as, what's your tag?
It's Garda Belief. Hello!
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the first episode of MAVV Radio. So we are the unofficial Ruby podcast that decided to make a little something in the off season while we wait for season 4 to come out.
The hiatus is too long.
The hiatus is too long. It always has been too long. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about the 4 Ruby trailers that came out in 2014?
It was
13?
12?
2012? Was it really 2012?
Or 13.
Before that, we're going to talk about what the podcast is, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to do, like, a podcast, and we're actually going to go from the trailers all the way to the end of Season 3. And so if you haven't watched the end of Season 3, this is spoilers. So, spoiler alert.
Go watch them now.
Go watch them now. Right now.
They are
Please
available
go.
on the Rooster Teeth YouTube and on the Rooster Teeth site. You should definitely just go watch
Basically.
Ruby.
Yep. Just look it up.
So, yeah, like Tori was saying, we're going to go through the 4 trailers. So, might as well dive in. You guys think?
Yep.
Okay.
And it just will be a general discussion about things we liked, things we noticed, tying it to the other episodes. Now that we have a lot of our questions answered from the end of Season 3 and beforehand, tying everything into one another is going to be quite fun, and that's going to be our goal here.
And crazy theories.
And lots of crying. Lots of crying.
Lots
Yes.
of crying and theories. So, without further ado, let's just dive straight into the very first trailer that was released, the Red trailer, that was
Yep.
actually shown at RTX. So,
That trailer is just amazing.
So Lex, I know you started watching Ruby before me and Tori. Me and Tori actually started watching Ruby this summer.
Like really late.
Actually,
Yeah.
after season 2 had already been on Netflix. Actually, when did you start watching Ruby? Were you at there for the beginning?
I started watching Ruby after it aired at RTX, and they had gotten, I think, maybe to either episode 5 or 6 when I got into it. And at first I was like, I don't know about this show, because it was something different. I've never watched a 3D-esque anime, so. But yeah.
When did you first see the Red trailer?
Oh, that was the first thing I watched when I got into it, because I saw the RTX panel, because they had uploaded it, and I watched all through that, and I was like, Ruby actually seems really interesting. Let me go watch all the trailers and see. And then basically I went from like the red trailer to white, yellow, blue, black.
Black, yeah.
Blue?
Black.
Yeah.
White,
There's a
yellow,
secret blue one?
It's a secret blue trailer
Yes,
for
there's
Ruby sponsors.
a secret blue trailer. And then I got into it and I started really loving it, and it's just like been downhill from there.
Because I know, because like I said, me and Tori got started late with Ruby. I know I saw Red trailer, I think after I watched season 1 and was halfway season 2, or I think I watched the trailers after season 1 and 2.
But to say, because
Wow.
we didn't get to, I think we watched season 1 and 2 in the same day. That was just one afternoon
think
for us.
We just
Yeah.
binged it and watched it all. Tell me, like, since you watched the trailers before you actually got in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I wish I would have done that, because, like, imagine that. I can't imagine, like, the hype that those trailers were. So, like, what was your first feeling when you first saw the Red trailer?
I think it was a lot of like really piqued interest, because I was like, oh, she reminded me very much of Red Riding Hood, and I love like the Red Riding Hood story. So as soon as I saw the whole trailer, I was like, this actually is catching my interest. I want to watch more of it. And then they did the second trailer where it was more of like Weiss singing, and I was like, well, okay, now I need to invest some time into watching this.
Yeah. So, like, if you guys, audience, haven't watched the trailers, because I know I went 2 seasons without watching them, they're actually really important. There's a lot of little hints and little things in it that you should look for. Like I know in the show they made some like references to the trailers that I totally missed until I went back and watched them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And going to the red trailer specifically, I have a note here that there was a tweet that Monty tweeted out a while back that said that people were missing something very, very important in the red trailer when it first came out. And people really didn't quite know what it is, but after going back, after watching the first 2 seasons, and then going back and actually rewatching the trailers, I think it's the bird.
It absolutely is.
Because
Crow?
I've noticed there's a crow or a raven that flies in all 4 trailers in different spots. And at first,
except for I don't see it.
I don't think
white.
there was any in white.
Yeah, white.
Because
I did see it in yellow and black. But
yeah. I kind of have a theory for that. So Tori, you can finish. Whatever.
Well,
so
in the very, very end of season 3,
mm-hmm.
if past all of the credits and everything, there is a very short scene where Uncle Crow, is watching the 4 students, Nora Wren, I almost said Miles.
John.
Nora Wren, just plain old Miles and Ruby.
You know, I mean, technically he is.
Walking through the woods, and then he kind of jumps off the cliffs, and then a raven flies up. So there's been a lot of like fan speculation that I've seen going around that either the Branwens can turn into birds, or it's just Crow.
I'm thinking it's just Crow.
I think both of them. Oh, well. I mean, I have a theory that it's both of them because I think... Are they twins?
I believe so.
Then I think that they have the same power because someone had pointed this out. Their semblance, I guess, what it looks like their icon, are like 2 eyes, basically. So I think they have very similar powers as far as like both of them can use some kind of dark portal of sorts and turn into Crow and a raven. And like in the first one, I think it was Crow because when Crow tells Yang like, hey, your mom's not going to save you again a second time, I have a very hunkering feeling that Crow watches over Ruby a lot more than Raven would because she's not related to Ruby, really,
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, if you're saying that Crow's technically not related to her,
he's not.
But he is.
He does take
she's
to her.
like a protege for him.
I
Yeah.
had to say he did teach her how to use her scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he very much loves her in a way.
One more thing, I keep forgetting that Crow's supposed to be a teacher. So, like, in my mind, the character from School of Rock that Jack Black plays, where he's just constantly, like, getting drunk and having hangovers and just trying to run this class of, like, school children, that's how I picture Crow as a teacher, and it fits, and I love it.
It does fit.
Does anybody know what a hangover is, children? It's when you're drunk. No, it's when I was drunk yesterday.
I don't think he gets hangovers, though, because he's never not drunk.
He's always drunk, so who knows if he ever gets...
Yeah.
Yeah, he just never has to deal with the hangover.
So going back to the red trailer, it opens up, and that's when we first see the tombstone for
Summer Rose.
Summer Rose. And,
Summer Rose. There's writing on there.
Yes, it is, and I had to find it because I tried to read that, and I went out.
Do you want me to tell you what it read?
No, I figured it out. It's
okay.
"Thus kindly I scatter," which is actually a line from the poem "The Last Rose of Summer" by Thomas More.
Really?
That's where that came from, and it's kind of where she gets her name from too.
Oh, that's
Summer
cool.
Rose, the last rose of summer.
See, I noticed the quote and I was like, I'm gonna write this down. Thus kindly I scatter, because I didn't know if it pertained to something important or the fact that it also involved that maybe they turn into dust when they die.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it means, but I mean, the connection to it is how Summer gets her name, the last rose of summer, the poem.
Yeah, isn't there also like a quote from like, ashes to ashes, dust to dust?
Yes.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not entirely certain what people do when they die in Remnant, but after Pyrrha, like, just, spoiler alert, disintegrated. Literally just disintegrated.
Yeah.
Might have
Turned
been
into
inhaled
dust.
a little bit. I don't know.
Ruby just inhaled her.
I might still have PR somewhere in my lungs, guys. Shout out to Uni for that one. I keep thinking about that, and I noticed in the Black trailer as well, when Adam fought the giant mech at the end, when he killed it,
That's his
it also disintegrated.
semblance, though. That's his sword.
I'm wondering... I know. But I'm wondering if, like, there's some way that people have that kind of energy in them to start with, and maybe if they die a certain way...
We
I don't know.
saw Amber, the Fall Maiden, die, and she didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what's interesting, but I mean, we can't really talk too much about
Yeah,
that.
we'll
just
get
yet, 'cause
we'll get to all that fun stuff. We're talking about the trailers this time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that, like, dust can be inside somebody as, like, a form of
Yeah.
energy, and if you do something special when that person dies, you can possibly harvest it. Because people don't disintegrate.
I mean,
It's not natural.
Yeah.
There is a quote from the first episode where it's like, "Man born from dust."
From dust to dust.
Mm-hmm. So possibly.
I don't know.
So there's another actually really weird thing in the Red trailer. I don't know if either one of you guys have noticed, but it's actually pretty big. A moon.
Is it the moon? Ah, I knew
The
it.
moon is shattered.
The moon is not
The-
shattered.
Oh my god!
The moon is not shattered.
The moon is complete.
The entire time I was, yeah,
in the
I
Red
was
trailer.
watching through all of them.
The moon is shattered and everything else.
No.
Like, every...
No,
White.
it slowly starts
It
to
starts
shatter.
slowly to shatter. In the White trailer, it's slightly like eroded.
Slightly more. Mm-hmm.
And
More
then
than
in
it's shattered.
Blake's...
In Blake's is fully shattered. And then
And
then
in
in
Yang, it
Yang's,
was weird.
there was a
two
moon, and I
moons.
think it was supposed to be like a setting sun, like that weird thing when the moon and the sun are in the same sky together.
But I don't
Yeah,
know. It
that's
looks
what
But I was like,
really
my first thought
similar
was,
to the
are
first.
there two moons?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I wrote that down.
not
I wrote that
this
down.
is not Tatooine.
But
Same, I
they,
wrote that down too.
they could be like some weird type of orbiting of moons, though, and then
A
just
full moon and then a shattered moon?
yeah, there could be two moons, but they're just on separate orbits. One takes a lot longer to get around, and they're both. Then somehow they're rare, like it's a rare occasion that they're both there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
But it doesn't explain why it slowly started shattering.
Yeah, I don't
Visually.
know either. Because
That was weird.
if it slowly started shattering, that means that all happened during the time between maybe I'm gonna say a couple years before Ruby starts going to school.
Yeah, because that would be...
And I feel like people would freak out a little more.
I have to say, that's like some kind of like huge cataclysmic event when your moon suddenly shatters.
Yeah. Or maybe they just thought it was something normal. I mean, it is the world of Remit.
Yeah.
It definitely is interesting that it happened slowly through the trailers.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And I heavily feel like them brushing it aside when someone had asked them on a stream, like, hey, why is the moon shattered? And they were like, oh, it's just an effect.
Nah, I think there's something there.
I
think there's
that's
something
a fact.
important there because it's Monty and like he never did things by accident, and if
Exactly.
The shattered moon definitely has some sort of significance.
so
Okie dokie. Any more with the Red trailer? Any more notes?
Besides that, I just had Sad Ruby.
Sad Ruby.
I actually
the
read
old Grim designs.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome to see.
Supposedly, Monty also had said that the actions and character of Ruby from the trailer wasn't really canon, I guess. Because
Well,
it was
still
more
kind of an
it was
early development thing.
It was more of
Yeah.
a weapon show off type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It
show
very
off
much
it did.
Yes, it did.
So I have some things about the White trailer that I would like to talk about.
First
of all-
I was gonna say one fun fact.
Okay,
About
one fun fact.
the Red trailer is the song.
Oh god, yeah.
Red Like Roses, the first one, and there's only like 4 little sayings, but each one it goes by the colors. It goes red, white, black, and then yellow in the song. So
Yeah.
if you guys didn't know that, that's a cool fun fact.
I mean, it literally says "Red like roses leads me to the place." Or
Yeah.
Well, I
lyrics.
mean, not everyone's super into the music, and
This is true.
That is very true. Some of them just listen to it and not really pay attention to what the lyrics mean.
Yeah, if you actually
Red
like,
like roses fills my dreams and leads me to the place you rest. White is cold and always yearning, burdened by a royal test. Black the beast descends from shadows. Yellow beauty burns gold. I did it. I did it. But yeah, the little 4 lyrics is just Team Ruby.
yep.
Team Ruby.
And so let's go to the white trailer.
Okay, white trailer time. First question, where is Weiss? Second question, holy what is that thing? Third question, who does that thing belong to? Fourth question, what is it there for? Fifth question, what is it guarding? About you don't have something that big and have it not have it have a huge significance to something.
Yeah,
very
so my notes, the first one was like, so Weiss can sing.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, even
My-
John was like, have you ever heard her sing? And she has a very
But,
pretty singing voice.
which I didn't get because I did not watch the trailers before. Because if you did not watch the trailers before, you would not understand that little joke. And she also makes another joke in season 3 when she dives into this smoke thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I won't be singing anytime soon.
Which
So-
And
is
she had like a huge full auditorium too, so she's not like some
Well,
small
that's
time vocalist.
yeah.
she. You asked what was it guarding? It wasn't guarding anything. It was attacking. It was there were SME logo symbols
Yeah.
on the walls, so it wasn't guarding anything. It was attacking her. It was, or at
So
least
like
the
training
company.
exercise?
I think it was
I
a training
don't-
exercise.
Don't think it was a training exercise, mostly because she killed it.
Well,
Right, but if it can be
Because
if you're like the
because
Schnees, you
She
have
can
money.
summon it, and she can only summon enemies that you have vanquished.
Mm-hmm.
So was it built for her to defeat and then
Be able to
as a
summon.
result be able to
I
summon?
think
Maybe.
like how she always saying she had a really rough childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times bad things happened, like Faunus's or things attacked. I think that might have been someone that attacking them. That's the most logical answer I have for it.
That is very true.
Indeed. Because we all know, according to Blake, that the Schnee Dust Company has some pretty questionable practices.
Very, very true. They do.
We also know that the Weiss, or like the Weisses,
The Schnees.
Papa Schnee seems pretty strict with his kids.
Yeah, and supposedly, in the Ruby manga, it talked about the thing she fought, and it's like a special Grim, but I don't know if that's accurate or anything, or if that's actually even canon of the manga. So
Well, they did mention that the whatever happens in the manga
I also have
is
not
kind
read
of
it.
canon, but not really canon. They aren't really sure what to call it.
Also,
How to
where
say,
can
'cause
I
it wouldn't
where can I
necessarily
find
be.
it? Where can I find it and read it?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to buy it in.
Oh.
Well,
Japan.
you should be able to read it on pretty much any manga site or manga site or whatever.
I will have to do that.
Yes.
But to say Little Weiss at her piano,
Mhm.
I mean, how can you, after seeing that, how can you not want to read it?
Also, I also had the question: who the heck is the knight? I don't know.
I'm honestly
I
perplexed.
am lost. If you're listening, send us comments. What do you think it is? Because I'm at a loss.
Yeah, same.
No
You're
idea.
all at a loss.
We all want to know the
So
mystery night.
Yeah. Tell us your theories about this. This is also when she got her scar,
Mm-hmm. This is very
Um,
important.
which yeah.
But to say we're lucky you didn't take out her eyeball.
Also, I said this earlier, but if you guys haven't our audience haven't noticed, in one of the early episodes when she's with her sister trying to summon things, she summons this guy's sword, but very little. And then later on in the last episode, or second to last episode,
It's second to last, yeah.
she summons its arm.
Well, it's a
Basically.
good thing that she summoned the arm, because I know somebody who might need that right now.
Mm. Wow, Tori.
I thought we would make it without it.
I cannot
Um,
believe we're not even on the yellow trailer and already.
I'm sorry, it was a big moment.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. That's all I really have for the White trailer. Aside from the fact that it does show a little bit how Weiss is ground fighting wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she made a few, like, she's always about how, it's proper etiquette, proper fighting etiquette, proper form and everything. And in the White trailer, she does actually get pretty hurt pretty bad. And I'm wondering if her, like, caution with, like, proper fighting came from the fact that she got hurt fighting this thing.
Probably.
It'd be a cool little bit of character development.
I think it would be. For me, the only other thing besides like the moon and basically Weiss singing and stuff was the quote that came up as soon as the White trailer started. The everyone is tied to their own sorrow, for the heart has no metrics or form of measure, and all of it irreplaceable. I'm wondering if at one point Weiss lost someone very close to her, maybe a friend or family member as
Mother?
well.
I've noticed no one has said a thing about Mama Weiss.
Because
I was about
Mama,
to say,
yeah.
there's no been mention about the mother. Yeah, I was about to say that too.
And in Snow White, there was an evil stepmother.
Exactly.
Or the first mother actually died, and then there was an evil stepmother.
And if we're
who I'm thinking is
basing
Salem,
them off
the whole thing.
fairy tale things like Weiss's Snow White, then possibly she either lost her mother or sibling or someone very close to her. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And going off that completely in tangent, as long as we talk about Snow White and evil stepmothers in almost every single other fairy tale, evil stepmother, definitely Salem.
Yep.
Evil queen, evil stepmother, evil, she's bad.
Evil.
But that comes later.
That comes later.
Very much later.
But yeah, like we were saying, if you guys haven't noticed, all the characters are actually based off some type of fairy tale.
Or color.
Yes, but there's most of them do have some type of background of fable. Like Ruby is based off
Red Riding Hood, obviously.
And Weiss is based off of
Snow White
because
very obviously.
Her name literally translates to Snow White.
I think the only one that really doesn't show that they fit it, unless you watch the trailer, is Blake.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, because you don't get it until you see Adam's crest on the back of his jacket, and the fact that
and it's the rose.
Yep.
But yeah, it's and the song from the White trailer is Mirror Mirror.
It's so sad.
And it's basically talking about
it's
very
being
sad song.
super alone. So that who's the loneliest of them all, and it's her. So I think that also, since the singing is after the event of the encounter of the night, I think the night killed somebody.
Yeah, I think
it might be her mother. And then after that, her father got really cold to her or something like that.
Yeah,
her father just shut down completely.
It would make sense because the knight could possibly represent the huntsman in the story.
Ooh, that's really good.
No, the White trailer music is so freaking sad.
And
I'm also thinking, like, who's the loneliest of them all? Well, if someone died who was really close to her, of course she would feel like she was lost and lonely and there was no one there to be with her. So that could also possibly be tied into the whole someone else is missing from her life kind of thing.
Yeah.
On to Black trailer.
Ooh.
Blake.
Possibly my favorite.
Ooh.
My favorite's yellow.
That's it. My favorite's
yellow because it's the first one that they started introducing voices. Besides, like, the singing voice wasn't actually, like, Kara's, obviously. So it was very nice.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Black and Yellow were made during the process of making season 1 or after they made it.
I think it was during the process as far as the Black trailer, because the Yellow trailer also was made during the process of the show of season 1.
So the notes I have for Black trailer is another blackbird flies off when Blake and Adam approach the cliff. Whenever they slide down,
Crow?
There's your blackbird.
Yeah, another crow question mark.
I think that one is Raven, and I have a strong feeling it's because of Adam.
Because she's the one that's working with, or she's the one that always seems to appear whenever there's, like, faunus interaction.
Yeah, and plus...
Look at their outfits and weapons.
I mean, just have you seen Adam's semblance? Where he glows like Yang? It's kind of like, is he maybe half-brother?
Ooh.
See, I've been seeing that theory kind of float around too,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of like throwing it up. I was like, there's definitely a possibility, considering that
It would make a
Raven
lot of
had
sense.
Yang and then
Yeah.
just kind of went away.
Because, and it also would make a lot of sense that maybe Raven was...
I don't think related, but I think maybe there's a like
a key point.
no master or mentor student relationship in that.
Oh, yeah, that could be.
Because
that could also be it.
Fighting style, as in like weapon wise, it's really similar.
Oh, absolutely. Like
And
Raven and Adam are very...
outfit wise, very similar.
Mm-hmm. They both wear masks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but that's a kind of honest type thing, or Black Fang type thing. Is the mask.
I mean, they could have gotten it from her though.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That would be interesting.
I mean, he would, because Adam's in charge, so he would have got it
That's
from her,
true.
and then he enforced it
to everyone else to wear masks. Yeah.
In my notes, it's actually "F-U Adam" in there.
Just a big
honestly same.
And Adam's power is to absorb energy. With his,
I have to say, because that laser got fired
with his
at
sword,
him.
he also does that with Blake's shots with her gun, and after that you can dish out extraordinary energy, which basically just disintegrates things.
Yeah,
because that's what happens to Yang's hand. It disintegrated. It didn't get cut off. It disintegrated.
Well,
it cut through the mech, and it kind of like shattered. Not really shattered, but there was definitely a shockwave that messed up the packages on the train.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty like forceful counterattack, basically.
Yeah, he's definitely got some intense training having gone through.
Yeah, and also I can't tell how old he is. Like,
he feels like he is close to his 30s.
Really? He seems pretty young.
He seems younger to me.
Young.
Really?
Like, if he were ever like Yang's step sibling, I feel like because Raven had Yang first and then went off, Adam would have to be a little bit younger for that theory to work.
Yeah. But I mean,
or the other way around, where she had Adam first, or whatever.
She could have had Adam first before she fell. Well, I don't even know if she fell in love with.
I don't know, Raven. What are you doing, Raven? Raven, stop. I mean, do what you want to do, but you're making timelines confusing here. But that's only if that's like an actual like theory.
I want to cast that theory aside because of the point you just made about the ages.
Because we don't know how old he is.
I'm definitely gonna put my money on the master. If anything, the master apprentice.
There's definitely something relation-wise, though, for sure.
I feel like that's more plausible.
Or even just work partners at one point in time.
Yeah.
That feels more plausible to me.
That's the main reason
at this point, anything's up in the open.
Yeah. That's the main reason why I'm like, if there wasn't a crow in the white trailer, which I looked very hard to find a crow or raven in the white trailer, then I think the reason why there's one in almost everyone is because of some kind of relation to the girls.
Yeah.
For at least Raven or Crow.
Right, and Crow wouldn't have really been interested in Weiss unless it was like with the Schnees with the Winter.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And since Winter wasn't at all in the trailer, then there's really no reason for him to be there.
I think it could... No. You know how Crow says he sends me off and do places and I have to report back to Ozpin?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that is Crow. I mean... doing a recon type mission. Yeah.
I still feel like, though, maybe Raven would be watching over her daughter, even if she didn't really want to.
I mean, in yellow, I think.
Yeah, and I think maybe in black with Raven, but I don't know. It really depends.
Whoever it is, or if it's even like a theory, there's something definitely up with the birds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
All right. Now, anything else about the black trailer that anyone points out?
I mean, we've already pointed out, the quote, I guess, kind of going to the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's, I'll find my own revolution or something.
Yeah, I'll find my own.
Of course, Blake was no longer okay with Adam's practices.
Yeah.
As seen in the fact that, hey, he just pretty much about stabbed her. Spoilers!
Yeah, basically.
Again, for later times.
Yeah. We already covered the moon, so.
Yeah, the moon shatter in that one, yeah. So we're coming to the yellow trailer now, which I
last trailer of the night.
Last trailer.
There's a crow also in the beginning, and
in the city.
Is my favorite trailer, just because I love Yang, and the techno music also
is his
is
favorite.
great.
I love
Collection
her.
of all 3 songs.
Yes, I love that
or
too.
all 2 songs, or it's just a remix of the songs used in previous trailers.
It's great.
Basically.
I like the beginning quote where it was scathing eyes ask that we be symmetrical, one-sided, and easily processed. Yet every misshapen spark's unseen beauty is greater than its would-be judgment.
Yeah, I love that quote too.
Symmetrical. What's no longer symmetrical, guys?
Tori, you did it again.
You really have to hand it to me, though.
It's true though, because like if you read that and you think now, it's like, oh, they definitely did do that on purpose.
Because right now her confidence is shattered. Her confidence is broken. So I think with this quote, it's eventually going to be every misshapen spark's unseen beauty is greater than its would-be judgment. So that gives me hope that Yang is going to bounce back better than ever, and that makes me very
with
happy.
The mecha arm.
You can't
mecha arm.
You can't keep Yang down forever. That's the thing.
Nope. That's
even like her song. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay. My other note
Torchworks is there.
I want to. Yeah, Torchwork is there.
Oh God,
talking
just like
to
chilling.
Junior.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Junior also walks away and kind of has his head in his hands. So I'm thinking that might have been the point where Torchwork was like, "Yeah, none of your boys are coming back," or like, "Yeah, I need your boys." So one or the other, Junior was not happy with.
I think he kind of like threatened him to hire.
Yeah. I think he did
Junior
too.
to me doesn't seem that bad. Like, yeah, he's a bit of a thug, but he doesn't seem like
he's not even a thug. He's
like
just
the bad
he's
guy.
He's a nightclub owner. That's literally what he is.
You
get
a
a rap
nightclub
from
owner
it.
that lets thugs in.
He's like Team Rocket Generation 1. He's not really that bad, but he's bad. Not like Team Flare, who just wanted to like kill everybody.
That is true.
Just kill everybody. You went from being Pokemon mobsters to Pokemon like genocidists.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's an actual word. I just made it up.
It's totally a word now.
It's a word now.
So yeah, Yang comes in there looking for Raven, which we now know is what she was looking for.
On the phone, because she's like, "Who is this woman?" And I had to look at the because at first I thought, "Oh, she's looking for." Part of my brain said she's looking for Cinder because of what happened in season 2.
But it's
completely different picture. Yeah.
Yes, I kept on like looking at the picture, and I was like, "Wait, no, that's not the right kind of hair for Cinder or anybody else that she might be looking for in regards to like the season 1 attacks." So
with the trailer
this has got to be Raven
before season 1, so she wouldn't even know who Cinder was.
Yeah.
True.
Good job.
Shut up. No, but like, oh.
Yeah. That is thinking.
I don't know. Considering that they had everything planned out,
she had no idea in Cinder or anything about her or any want to find Cinder. And she's always been looking for Raven, so it's obviously Raven.
She always has been looking for Raven.
It's interesting though, like how basically the entirety of probably when she wasn't in school, Yang was just looking for her mom.
Yeah.
And that was just her sole mission. And now like
she has a purpose now.
Yeah.
Cut that part out. Edit it. I made a goof.
No, it's staying.
No, I think it was because I watched trailers so late, and the idea of, because I don't know, like the timeline for me was always kind of like
different,
very vague, black and white, not black and white.
It's white and black.
He did plan so many things in ahead. Oh, shush. He did plan so many things ahead of time, so it's like, I don't know when she went to the club the first time. So
it's
and like the picture was really blurry.
Well,
yeah,
it's before season 1.
Yeah, it's definitely before, because
when she comes back, she comes back season 2.
Yeah.
2.
Right. After the attacks happened in season 1.
And that would be the time, if anything. That's when she went to ask information about Cinder and Torchwick.
Yeah. And plus, at that time, she had Neptune with her, so...
Yep.
So definitely important with Neptune.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I like Neptune.
So, another fun fact, I don't know if you guys knew, but the 2 girls are early concept art, concepts of Weiss and Ruby.
Oh, I didn't really notice that. I just knew that the person who voiced them was the same person. Like, so they were supposed to be twins, but they had the same person voice for both of them.
Yeah, but the outfits are actually like early concepts of Weiss and Ruby. If you look at them again, because one's red, one's white, and you can see
that is true.
You can see the very like similarities that they took from it. But yeah, I don't know where I learned that at, but I learned that from somewhere.
There's always so many wonderful things to find in like the wikis and just online.
Absolutely, just go searching.
Yeah, so that's a fun fact. Yang's just awesome. Can we just talk about how Yang is awesome?
We can always talk about how Yang is awesome.
Yeah,
I had a short-haired Yang cosplay that I drew a little while back, and I still kind of want to do it.
Please do. I will be a Ruby.
Yeah.
No, but like I really love the concept idea of Yang's semblance.
Yeah,
Like
it's freaking awesome.
It's very Saiyan. Like I remember the first time I noticed.
It's Super
Saiyan.
Saiyan. I'm
It's very
Super
Saiyanish.
Saiyan now.
It is very Saiyan. Oh god.
It's in the song.
It's
It's
in the
literally
lyrics
in
of
the
the
song.
song.
Yeah.
For her, I think it just makes sense because she's always been kind of like a hot-headed fighter, and to have a semblance that would take all the damage that you took and then just throw it back at your enemy twice as strong. This also kind of gives me hope that she's going to be okay after season 3.
I really hope Yang will be
I'm getting choked up a little bit.
Oh god, I really hope Yang will be okay.
I mean, because, like, Yang is one of those people where it's like she's so upbeat, she's so positive, and, like, once you see her when she's at her lowest, you're like, baby, no. Baby, no.
No.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Oh, man. Oh, here's a fun fact. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of the streams for Ruby, or have watched some of the streams.
When I can,
but
I do, yeah.
One of the things that they always bring up when someone asks about Jack being Jr. was like, was he always planned to be picked at? And no, it was supposed to be Gavin, because Gavin, he's like, oh, like, making those kinds of sounds, and they had planned on him. And then they ended up saying, fuck it, we're just gonna have Gavin be, Scarlet, and Jack will be Jr.
Which I think he is amazing Scarlet.
He does make an amazing Scarlet, and I'm glad they chose the latter of picking...
I have to say, because Junior doesn't really fit.
I know. It doesn't
Gavin
really.
is amazing at playing a certain kind of person.
Yeah.
For someone like Junior who have to have like a serious kind of thuggish side, and having the bird noises come out of Gavin's mouth, it would have been hilarious, but it just really wouldn't fit.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't really fit.
And Junior's also supposed to like represent the youngest bear of Goldilocks, I think.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I kind of really like Junior, and I like the way Jack voices him.
Yeah.
Also, how old is Yang?
Well,
Ruby's supposed to be about 14, I think.
Are they in high school or in college when they go to Beacon?
They're in high school.
Is it?
They're in high school. Yeah, it's confirmed that high school because Ruby skipped from junior high to high school level.
I thought it was college. Okay.
I thought it was more collegiate level. Because Yang can ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
And she's still at first year.
I mean, who's to stop her?
The police?
It could be it could be
the cops?
That they're a younger age. I have a feeling that Yang is either 3 years younger, or 3 years older, I'm sorry, or 2 years older than Ruby.
Because a collegiate boarding school to me makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's like dorms and everything.
Yeah.
And
so
then
maybe
Ruby would have just skipped her last 2 years of what we would consider secondary school or high school to just go straight to college.
Is there,
it's true,
has it been confirmed how old they are at all?
I thought it was.
They're just young girls, young women, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with kind of just leaving it open to interpretation because it's not really a big part of, like, as long as it's like a school setting, you're either in high school or you're in college, which one it is really doesn't matter,
Yeah, I honestly thought, like, Ruby was probably maybe still in high school.
I thought Ruby was,
like, behind high school.
16 or 14.
And that she just got, somewhere between 14 to 16.
Yeah, she always struck me just being just a little bit older, but not that old.
Oh gosh, yeah, no.
Like, I thought more like 15, 16.
Yeah.
To where she's still kind of young, but still kind of like just getting towards adulthood and kind of like paving her own
She
way.
is
and being
15.
super
15,
excited
yeah.
about.
I just
She's
looked up
15?
on the wiki.
She is
Oh,
15,
cool.
yeah.
Hit it on the nose.
I'm also looking.
Hit it on the nose.
I'm gonna see what...
Which means if she skips 2 years to be a first year, which puts Yang, Blake, and
They're in college then.
Weiss possibly around 17,
Okay, so
18.
they are.
So it's a
definitely
college.
college.
So
then.
it is college. So it's very much like a college. Okay.
That
so
just sounds awesome to say, a Huntsman College.
that is... Yeah.
What did you do?
What you major in?
Oh,
Well,
I majored in a Huntsman.
It says Yang is
Not
17,
even hunting, just
so...
Huntsman. Yeah, that makes sense. I was, depending on how old you are when you first enter your freshman year of college, it's either
Yeah.
17, 18.
Yeah, that's true.
I was
Yang could have gone
17.
in early.
Or 18, 19. Yeah, but you're a baby. Anyway, so I believe that wraps it up for the trailers.
Should we have any last minute pointers? Any last minute ideas, thoughts, theories?
So Moon Theory. What's your thoughts of that? This is a question for the audience. I want people to
Yeah.
We want your feedback because
Yes, absolutely.
that would be awesome, and we could go over some of the feedback we get if we get any in the beginning of next episode.
Talk about the Moon Theory, who the knight is in the white
Yeah.
trailer.
Absolutely. I want to figure that out.
Oh, one more thing. Back to the yellow trailer. The very, very last bit. Ruby is standing underneath the shattered moon, and Yang is standing right
By
in
the
front
sun.
of
Sun
either
or
what is supposed to be the sun or like
second
the second
moon.
moon, or just a really out of place light bulb.
Yeah.
So
that would be
whatever you
interesting.
guys think that is,
Yeah.
and what symbolism is behind that.
We did also have kind of another thing. I forgot I wrote this down. Maybe the shattering moon could mean Salem Rising? Possibly?
Salem
Salem Rising.
Video game.
Ruby.
Salem Rising. Salem Rising.
Next coming after Grim Eclipse.
Now I just feel like Metal Gear Solid voice. There's Salem around here somewhere.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I can't do a good Snake voice.
Yeah, and let us know what your favorite trailer was, because mine was definitely yellow.
Yellow.
Mine was black and then ruby.
No, yellow and then red.
Yeah.
Oh, red, I should say.
Red is just a very nice trailer because it just had the cinematography was great, and Monty always had a really good eye for combat
choreography, and that thing is beautiful.
I fell in love with.
Yeah. I was just very in love with black because of how gorgeous it was and how much the intro.
I noticed the color palettes in each trailer was either only black, red, white, or little bits of yellow.
Yeah.
And depending on whose trailer it was, like in Blake's trailer, it was all black, white, and red. Lots of red.
Lots of red.
Weiss's trailer was always just black and white with just a little bit of red. Ruby's trailer was mostly black and white with a little bit of red, and then Yang's was just, it kept changing between all three colors.
Except for yellow, yeah.
Because she was the yellow part of that trailer.
Yeah.
So I think that was a cool little tidbit, how they kept the color palette kind of the same throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Also, the Forever Red Forest, or whatever that's called. Gorgeous.
Very gorgeous.
Forever Fall?
Forever Fall.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't realize how big it was, but like once you like look back and see the train coming, you see it like
so
the redness of Forever Fall like stretches on. And I'm wondering if that's like a biome of some kind, because I would really enjoy living there if that was.
Oh my gosh, same. Anyways.
This is a temperate zone.
So that's everything.
Yep.
So last little final shout outs. Again, we have Icebox11 over as our host. You have me at OGaleFox on Twitter as your co-host, and we've got Lex at Guarded Belief over on Twitter as the other co-host.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow us, we are MAVV Radio on Tumblr and Twitter, and I believe at this point we actually have our SoundCloud and YouTube up, which is probably where you're listening to this at. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening, because we really appreciate it, listening to
Very
our
much.
probably, I don't know, I think most of my theories are wrong
Midnight
because I'm
ramblings.
just so yeah, it's like 12:30
Literally
at night.
midnight rambling.
And-
It's 1:30 at night.
That's right, because you're over in different time zone than we are.
Yep, it's... Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My
okay.
misplaced timeline theories about things because I watch things out of order, and our theories about so many things. So if you have a theory of your own that you'd like us to discuss and talk about, go ahead and tweet it at us or give us a shout out over on Tumblr, and we could talk about it on the next episode, where we'll be covering episodes 1, 2, and 3 of season
Yep.
1.
Woo!
And check out the fun OC characters that those two made. Or
Yeah.
Drew.
And
I
you.
made one.
And you.
I didn't
Goober.
draw it.
You made one. Well, you came up
We
with
all
the
made
concept,
one,
though.
so that's
technically,
who
yeah.
we have in our splash
Yes.
art right now.
Yeah.
That I'm guessing is over on both
SoundCloud and
YouTube and
Yep.
SoundCloud. So I guess you could say those are our Ruby radio
Or
sonos.
Yeah.
mascots. One of the two.
Yeah, mascots sound
Mascots.
better.
Yep.
Less of a mouthful. Anyway, so I guess this is the first broadcast of MAVV Radio signing off. It's so hard to say.
I think-
It was a good idea in theory and practice, and now I'm actually saying it out loud. I'm kind of like, it's MAVV. I'm like, no, brain, it's mauve. Mauve's a
Mauve.
color.
Mauve is the color.
Oh, did we even mention what MAVV stands for?
Oh, yeah, we should mention what MAVV stands for.
Definitely. MAVV is the international radio of Mistral Atlas Vacuum Vale. We are MAVV Radio.
MAVV!
Broadcasting all through Remnant. Yay!
Woo.
That sounds like a good intro. We should use that intro next time.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can slice and cut this however you want. You have plenty of room. There's so many blank spaces that you can literally make me say anything. Don't actually make me say anything.
Don't do
it's
it.
alright, you already screwed up.
But do it. All right.
Alright. Well, thanks for listening. We will
We'll
hope
see
and
you.
see
We will
you
see
next
you
time
soon.
when we cover
Please.
episode 1 and 2 of Ruby.
Please.
Episode just 1 and 2?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was 1, 2, and 3. Oh well, then 1 and 2 then.
1 and
1
2.
and 2. Alright.
Okie dokies. So, signing
Signing
off.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.